Hello, it's June and I'm doing an April slash May favourites. So I haven't missed out yet, and you've literally been dying to know what my favourites were for the past 2 months. I know you have. You've been sat there waking up every day thinking, when is Jess going to tell me what she liked in April? And here I am to tell you my favourites of April and May. First of all, we're going to start with April because that is before May. That's just how the months work. What do I even start with? To be fair, I've not actually got a huge amount of stuff. Like, when I'm looking at it, there's a lot, but obviously it's 2 months worth, so I just have to keep that in mind. And let's start off with my smallest thing. Oops. I'm already dropping her. If you followed me for a while, every time I go and see my sister in Derby, I get a smiski. This is my new smiski. It's the girl with the pearl earring. This is the museum collection that I've been collecting since I started collecting smiskis. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, this month I got another one and I got my first duplicate. So, at least I got her then. She's gorgeous. She sits in my cabinet. Very lovely. Clothing wise, there's 4 bits of clothing. Some of these you would have seen already. For example, my Miffy pajamas. I got these from Primark. They were like, I think they were like £18, so expensive to me anyway, but I love them. It even says Miffy on the waistband. Where's the pocket? It's got a little pocket on the back. It's just embroidered Miffy, and then pink gingham, tartan, whatever. I bloody love them. They're so soft. I love them so much. And they're a nice length for me. They're a bit long, but nice. They're like proper lounge trousers. I was actually quite surprised that Primark even had anything Miffy related, but I've noticed now she's kind of, I say she's gone mainstream. Like in the Netherlands, she's everywhere. So I can't really say she's gone mainstream because she was never a niche character to begin with. It's just weird seeing her in Primark, of all places. Next, we have this t-shirt. So I got this t-shirt from work and I have 2 variants. I have this colour and then a grey one. So I gave, the one I'm going to show you is technically my boyfriend's because mine is in the wash. So it's this t-shirt. It's large and it's just got the little dude on and it says, what is it? I can't read that upside down. 105 dB, decibels, summer. It means summer. But on the back, it then has this little graphic. I tried to save a polar bear, but all it wanted to do was rip my face off. I don't know, it's just pretty cool, and I like the way it fits. It's probably because it's men's. Does it have a brand on? I can't read that. It's black on navy blue, and it's just Gildan t-shirt. Me and Kieran now have matching. I also wear it quite often, like every time it's out of the wash. I don't even get to hang it up before I've got it on again, so favourite, #favourite. Actually, on the topic of me and Kieran having matching t-shirts, I also bought an Alice in Chains cropped band t-shirt. So I got Kieran one for Christmas. His is an actual like normal length t-shirt and on the back it says Jar of Flies, whereas mine is plain on the back. But this is a Jar of Flies band t-shirt and it fits nice. It's nicely cropped when I wear my skirt, so that's where I normally wear it. Thank you, Kieran, for putting me on Alice in Chains. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have this t-shirt and I won't be listening to them. Great band. I would definitely recommend if you like rock and grunge and listening to a band you know you will never ever get to see live. So yeah, Alice in Chains t-shirt. Last piece of clothing, coming to the end of April physical favourites, is this other t-shirt. It's not really a t-shirt, this is a top. This is from Damn Tragic, but I got it from Damaged Society. I love it so much. I finally got to wear it the other day. So it's zipped at the back, like full zip, and then at the front obviously you've got a tie here for the straps, and then you've got like a corset style. It's just cute, and it's like fake denim, so it's quite stretchy. This was quite a lot of money, and I don't like to think about it. I treated myself because I had the money. So for the next 6 months, I'm not allowed to buy myself any new clothes. I don't think, oh no, I think I did take a photo of my outfit for when I wore it the other day. So I'll maybe like insert that somewhere, because I was a bit worried. Like when I tried it on in store, I just tried it on because it was there, because I wanted to try the Alice in Chains t-shirt on. And I was like, I'll just grab a bunch of other stuff to try on so it makes being in the changing room worthwhile. And I put that on and I just stood there and I was like, I have to have it. I think it was like £45. I'm never gonna get £45 back. Last thing I can show you for April is my sewing machine. My aunt gave me this sewing machine, so I did get it for free, but I mentioned how I've been wanting to try it out, and okay, I'm gonna hold both my hands up. I have not used this thing almost the whole of May, but I've been struggling and there's been a lot of things going on, so she has not been getting the love she needs. But thankfully I have a nan that also collects a lot of scrap fabric and a lot of bobbins and a lot of thread, so I've now gained a collection of just tons of scrap that I can do little projects with. So hopefully in the future, me and this girlie are gonna get to know each other really, really well. I did make a, I guess you can I call it finished? I don't know. I've never used it, to be fair. But I made a tiny makeup wipe, a reusable one. It's really, really bad. I don't know if I can call it a makeup wipe because it's a piece of flannel, a piece of fabric poorly stitched together. Maybe it's just a first project poorly stitched fabric. I don't know. It's fun anyway. I love using this. In April, me and all my friends got together for Cassidy's birthday, so we all actually went out a little bit on the bevs. It wasn't nothing crazy because unfortunately I had to work the next day, so I couldn't go as hard as I wanted. But me, Erin and Cassidy all went to a place called Rescue Rooms in Nottingham, which is my beloved. I love Rescue Rooms, and you know, we just sat and had a couple of drinks to celebrate her birthday. But did we eat? We went and got a Taco Bell. That's what we did. And I always bring loads of home for Kieran. I never know why, although it was really good. And it's just nice to actually spend time with both Erin and Cassidy. It's normally quite hard nowadays because we all work. Or do we? It's struggle to get all three of us together as adults. Either it's just me and Cassidy, or it's just me and Erin, or it's just those two without me. That never happens though, I hope. Anyway, I think that was everything for April. It must be. It's been so long. If I did miss anything, and if I did do anything with anyone, I'm sorry. Don't be mean about it. I only have a small brain, small memory slots. Unless you show me a photo from 2014 at 9 o'clock, I know exactly what I was doing then. Let's move on to May, because that only happened 4 days ago. I've had to write everything down and I can't even view it because I'm videoing on my phone, and my list that I made is on you right now. So I'm stuffed. I've just got to remember it. However, I do have a nice plan in front of me which I can kind of remember what happened. I'm going to actually start off at the beginning. So this kind of does relate to April, but also mainly May. Is I went to Switzerland. I went to Switzerland for the first time. It was the second, well, it's not the second country I've ever been to, but the second proper country I've ever been to. Like a proper holiday. I went with school to two countries. I went to Germany and France. I didn't go to Germany. I went to Italy. But that was to do with school, so I wasn't like chillaxing like I could have been. I went to Switzerland with my mum, my aunt and my little brother. We went for 4 days. So early flight in the morning, late-ish flight going home. So we had pretty much almost 4 full days, and it was amazing. We stayed near Lake Geneva, about half an hour's walk, and it was gorgeous. We had such lovely weather. It was crazy. It was also very odd being on such a short flight, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to take my Kindle, I'm gonna need to download stuff to like watch on the plane. I literally, our flight in the morning was at like, was it 5:30 or 6:30? One of the two. Literally got on, I was like, oh look, we're landing. And that was it. We were over the sea for like 10 minutes, it was crazy. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent about just flying. The water was so clear on the lake, it was gorgeous. We even took a day trip to France to, oh my god, I can't remember what it was called. One thing I really liked about Switzerland is the birds. So they had a lot of different trees there, which I also quite liked, like visually different trees. So in the UK, like there's a lot of trees, there's like, you know, different ones, different green ones, but like there was some fucking mad trees in Switzerland just lining the streets, and those little brown tweety birds were everywhere. So there was just always singing birds everywhere you walked. It was like a fairy tale. And it was just nice to walk around. There was loads of things I really liked. It was very expensive. It was very expensive. Did I even buy I don't think I bought myself anything. I did buy chocolate, and I bought like food whilst I was there, but I didn't actually buy, I did buy myself something. Hold that thought. That can lead me on to my first physical favourite, and you'll never guess what it is. I got a teeny tiny smiski, and he's sunbathing with his cat. This is the Sunday collection. So this was the only thing I bought myself in Switzerland, and his cat. Yeah, you can take his cat off of him. He was cheaper in, I can't remember what the store was called, but he was cheaper than the ones that I get in the UK. Only by like £2. But the Swiss francs and the pound are literally like the same. When I was buying stuff, I wasn't like, ooh, this is so cheap. Like if I buy this at £13, it's actually £9.50. It was like, oh, if I buy this at £13, it's like £12.80. McDonald's, extortionate. Here's my new, well, the newest one. It's new one anyway. Obviously he lives in my cabinet as well with the other smiskis. So if I ever travel again and I find another smiski, this will be the collection I will be collecting. On the way home from Switzerland, in the airport, I forgot what it was called, like the duty-free part. So we're waiting for our flight. Me, my mum and my little brother go round some of the shops, you know, just seeing what's going off. I just walk in and I go, oh my god. Guess what I was pointing at? If you guessed Yashica Peanuts digital camera, you guessed correctly. Bro, look at that shit. It's fucking Snoopy on a camera. And I've got the little wrist strap, and it's got a little bag. It says Snoopy on it. Now, it doesn't take the best photos. So it just boots up, says Yashica, and then, you know. Hi guys. It does make a funny noise when you take a photo. Oh my god, I turned the sound off. Okay, a smile. That's so funny. Yeah, it also has, this is why I turned it off. Me when I'm just trying to look through my photos. Good ones. It's funny though, because I see myself as a decent photographer. That camera makes me feel like a child. I'm just like this, like, just anything and everything. What, you sat down trying to sleep, now I have that photo forever. Thankfully, if you're sick of me talking about Switzerland, it's over now, because I'm not going to be talking about Switzerland anymore, because that's all the stuff that I got from Switzerland, and that I have physically. Yeah, I didn't buy anything. I took loads of film photos and I had a really, 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 really nice time there. But I am back in the UK, unfortunately. I mean, you'd know this if you watch the vlogs anyway. And I'm obviously sat in the room that I'm always in when I film these, so whatevs. Next is this lovely, like, flower vase arrangement my nan made me. So my nan, like I said earlier, she has had, I should say, a lot of craft stuff, and throughout the years she's made a lot of things, and she had some left over, and because I should be moving into a new house soon, she made me a little arrangement just of like dried flowers, and it's cream and it's neutral, so it can go anywhere in my house. At the moment I have it just on my landing, but I love it. It's like whimsical and fairy like. It obviously doesn't smell of anything because they're dried and they are not flowers. There's baby's breath. They don't smell of anything because they're dried. Okay, the last portion of this is actually, well, after this one I'm going to show you, it's going to be a lot of stuff I've literally bought in the past. It'll be like 4 days, at the end of May, literally like the last couple of days. So once this video goes out, you'll be like, oh, I've already seen that. I'm like, shh, that's how it's supposed to work. Me and my BFF Cassidy, not to be confused with BFF Erin, we played Dead by Daylight and she freaking made me a Kate Denson photo card. So you got a little charms and her perks. I fucking love it. Actually, I'm unsure on where to hang this yet. So she has just been like sitting around the house. I had her in the car for a bit, but she's just too big to be hanging in my rearview mirror. My little Dead by Daylight photo card, my first ever photo card. And Cassidy's also launched an Etsy shop now. She's not doing photo cards yet. She might do them, I'm not too sure. But she does do the Sylvanian families and Fugler key charms, similar to the top. So if you want something like this, you know where to look. I'll link it in the description because she deserves all the sales in the world. Okay guys, I know you wanted this to happen, but you're excited for this to end. The last part of my May favourites. Me and my sister, when we went to Derby, there was I think it was called the Makers Market on, and there was a girl that we were following. I think her name is Blood Moon or Doom and Gloom at the moment, but she was there and she has some really nice stuff. Now the clothing, as much as I wanted it, I just did not have the funds for. However, she did have some stickers. The first sticker, Miffy. It's just an emo sticker. Emo Miffy sticker with little glittery. I don't know where she's gonna go yet. Oh yeah, her at is on it. It's Blood Moon 666. Oh. I don't know where she's going. My sister keeps telling me to put her on my Kindle, but that is like a large commitment for me. So she's gonna stay on her sticker paper before I think, yes, she can go here. From the same stall, I got 3 patches to patch my jeans, and this only came off as a joke when we were stood there, because we stood talking to her for quite a while, and I mentioned some jeans that I had, and I was like, oh yeah, like I've cut them shorter and they're really uneven, very punk, maybe I should patch them. And she had patches on her table, and we're like, oh well, we'll do our rounds, maybe I'll have to get some patches. Well, I got 3. The first one, tooth. The second one is a flail. And the last one is quite large, and it's a church window. So if I am going to patch my jeans, this is probably going to go on like the top of the thigh, maybe. And then the last thing I got from this same lady is this medieval weapon print. So it's a bit bigger than A5. It's like an 8x6. And I thought as I was going around, I was like, new house, I might as well get some small business artwork that I actually really like, and medieval weapons, right up my alley. Now from the same market, I got some more artwork. So this is an A4 print. This is a left waxed hand. I picked it up because I thought it was cool. So it's a print of an art piece, I don't know why that came out so difficult. But the lady that did this told us the story behind this is that criminals would get their left hands chopped off and people would burn them using like the body wax and all the nasty gritty stuff that happens when you die. And apparently if you lit it next to someone, they were supposedly they would sleep forever. I need to do some more research, but I don't really care. I just really like it. And I compliment her because she's drawn the hand really, really well. I just love it. See, this one's A4, so this one will join the weapons. Because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. Medieval bits and bobs. Also from that same lady, she had a tarot deck that she'd made herself, like she'd drawn all of them. And we could pick a card. So we didn't pick the top one. I picked one just like from picking it from the deck, and I did like a spread for my sister. So this is what the back looks like, and this is what I got. Now a lot of people are very cautious with tarot, but when I did my very small bit of research on it when I was like 16, these aren't always bad. It depends how it's pulled. So if you get a death card, doesn't mean you're gonna die, and it doesn't mean someone else is gonna die. It can literally mean the death of something. It could mean the death of a career, the death of a dream, which also isn't good, but you don't know. A death of a job, a death of an opportunity, the death of your tea bags running out. It's all right, guys. No need to worry. Last but not least, physical items anyway. I don't know how to speak Japanese, but I've got my Kaneki Ken figurine. I saw him in Forbidden Planet, again, out with my sister, and I just had to get him because you never ever, well, maybe other people do, but I never ever see Tokyo Ghoul merchandise out in the wild. And if you do search for it, you still can't really find it. Like AliExpress, for example, it's just a load of tyat. And I wanted a figure. And he sat on his chair. He cost me £45, which in a way, it isn't too bad. He's big. Let's see how big he is. This is how big he is anyway. You can kind of tell. Look. He's not bigger than my head. Obviously the box is, but the actual figurine is not. He's going to stay in his box until I get my house and I get loads of little cool setups that he can nicely sit up on. It's another part of torture for him. Another little thing I did this May was I went on a big family holiday. So this is the first big family holiday we've ever done. So this like included my grandparents, my mum, my aunts, their kids, and then the one new great grandchild from my nan. There was 17 of us, so there was a lot. This also included my boyfriend and some of my cousins' partners. That was it. Yeah, 2 of my cousins' partners and my boyfriend. The only family member that couldn't make it was my sister. Yeah, take that, Kelsey. Joking, she couldn't make it, but we did FaceTime her a couple of times. But we all went to Cumbria and we stayed in a place called the Waterfall Retreat, which was absolutely lovely. There was a waterfall in the back garden. Bloody lovely. It was in my most recent vlog where I did film a few clips, but you know, I was on a family holiday. I didn't want to be like, I spent 24 hours in a waterfall retreat stuck with my family. Like, I'm not going to be doing that. I'll film like the odd few clips and look at them, but obviously it's also my holiday, so I don't want to just, you know, you get what I mean, you get what I'm saying. I did have a lovely time though, just actually spending time with my family for a long period of time. It didn't feel as mentally exhausting as I thought it was going to. I thought within like a few hours, I thought I'd just shut off and think I need to go and sit in my room. But there was loads of time to just chill. Like I spent like 2 hours just by myself reading my Kindle and scrolling on TikTok next to the water, and everyone else was doing their own thing. And then always top it off by going out with my sister. into Derby. Now, I do really enjoy it. Me and my sister seem to go out once a month together. She lives in Derby and I'm in Nottingham, so we're not always together. But we seem to make a day wherever it falls within the month. And we went to the Makers Market and I spend money. If I didn't spend money, I wouldn't have any favourites to show you, would I? Hey, I wouldn't. If I didn't spend any of my hard-earned money working at my job, I wouldn't be able to show you anything that I really liked. And I wouldn't. The only thing, I don't know, like, some people make these favourites because it's like, I recommend using this face cream. I recommend you go and buy from Cassie's shop. I recommend you go buy from Kelsey's shop. If you want a dog collar or a dog lead, buy from Kelsey. If you want a cute keychain to go on your dog collar, buy from Cassidy. And soon enough, I'm going to have a creative outlet too, so then you can buy from me. Do not mark my words. It may not happen. Because we are watching my April to May favourites in June. So we know how that goes, don't we? Anyway, I've run out of favourites. I ran out of things that I remember that I really liked. There's probably lots of food along the way. I don't really remember a lot. So, and if I didn't take photos and I didn't write it down, then it's really bad. It's really, really bad. Thank you all for watching my April to May favourites. I'm sorry it took so long, but it's also the latest one I've done because it's now June and April was 2 months ago. But it's also the earliest one because May was a few days ago. So it kind of balances itself out. I just need to not let this happen again with June. I need to write everything down so I can give you guys as much information as possible. So you can follow my footsteps and buy all the smiskis and stuff you need. You need it. You need to buy yourself that treat. What you don't need to buy is another cup, another bottle. You need a smiski. You need a smiski. Smiski says bye, and thanks for watching.